Today we're talking about 5 financial planning must-haves for every federal employee. Now look, finances are one of those things that we put off, even if you're not putting it off on purpose. There's the element of the unknown when it comes to financial planning. There's a lot of things you just don't know what you don't know, right? And you're gonna hear me talk about some things that I mention often, but I think it's that important to continue to remind ourselves because financial planning is not a one-time event, right? We gotta continue to put these things on our to-do list, check them off and update them. So 5 things, let's go ahead and dig into it real quick. First one on my list, summary of benefits. Every federal employee should know how to locate their summary of benefits. This could be the total compensation statement. It could be an earning and benefit summary, whatever it's called from your agency that varies a little bit. You should know how to find this thing, pull it down, and then review your benefits. Basically, this document gives you a summary of your compensation between salary and what your benefits are worth. And then it also lays out the details of those 7 core benefits that you have as a federal employee. So your insurance benefits as well as your retirement benefits. So we can look at the TSP, your first basic annuity, computation dates, kind of how things are projecting, as well as what's going on with FEGLI, your federal employee health benefits, et cetera, right? So pull this down. If you don't know where to find it, reach out to your agency. They can point you in the right direction. Important to look at this thing on a consistent basis, make sure all your numbers are matching up, understand what you have access to, what you're currently enrolled in, what you're paying for, all right? Really important stuff. Second thing on my list, one-page financial plan. Everyone should be creating a one-page financial plan. This is a simple document you can sit down, pull out a sheet of paper, and create on your own. So you simply want to list out some of your goals, which is your why. What you want to accomplish, why do you want to accomplish it, what's important to you, those sort of things. Give yourself a little bit of freedom to think through it, dream a little bit, right? And then write some action items beside that. What are you currently working on? And then also, what have we completed? What milestones are we checking off, right? So goals, action items, what action items have we completed? What milestones have we reached? And then of course, you do just want to kind of create a summary of what you have going on financially. So a little bit of a snapshot of your income statement as well as your balance sheet. So how much money are you making on a gross basis? How much money are you saving? What's your net worth? Some of those key figures. What are your tax rates? Track that stuff, right? Because then you can kind of see the progress that you're making. Number 3 on my list, understand how you're invested. Everybody should understand exactly how they're invested, whether it's your TSP, whether it's IRA accounts, whether it's a taxable investment account, whether it's real estate. You just need to understand what you're invested in, if it's suitable for you to reach your long-term goals. Don't just go blindly with a target date fund or something like that. Understand exactly what the allocations are, what they do, what you're buying underneath that, what companies you own, okay? And then tweak it to make sure it's appropriate for your mix. So you could be too conservative or too aggressive. Both those things can be equally damaging when it comes to reaching your goals, okay? Number 4 on my list, I love this one. So I'm always talking about creating a retirement income worksheet. I think it's that important. It doesn't matter what age you're at, start working on a retirement income worksheet. And this is simple. You can pull up some of our past videos to see exactly how to do this, but what you wanna do is kind of figure out how much money you're gonna spend in retirement. You can base that on what you're spending today, give you an idea of what things might look like in the future, and then maybe make some basic reductions. We find most people kind of spend exactly what they're spending today, or maybe more potentially. And then track what retirement income sources you may have available in the future. So first basic annuity, how is that projecting with pay raises, promotions, et cetera. And then Social Security, as well as your investment income. So how are your TSP, IRAs, taxable investments going to grow? What do the projections look like? How much income can they generate? Add that all up, compare it against what you think your annual spending might be. That's your retirement income worksheet. And that also plays into understanding what your options are when it comes to retirement. So when can you retire? Understand those kind of benefits, right? So what are the key ages there? Minimum retirement age 60, age 62. Understand how those play within your equation, right? Based on your years of service and all that good stuff. And then know exactly what happens when you do retire, right? So what are things gonna look like? Okay, and last on my list, we'll wrap this up. I told you I was gonna keep this short, is basic estate planning, okay? Now the easiest thing to do here is just check your beneficiaries. You'd be surprised how many cases we see when there's an old boyfriend, an ex-spouse, something like that, on a person's beneficiary for their TSP or FEGLI or just an old insurance policy. So make sure the people named there are the right people, so the money goes exactly where you want it to, okay? Also, just think about basic documents, will, power of attorney, advanced directives, even consider a trust or guardianship if you have those sort of needs. But take a look at it. All right, so in conclusion, you really just can't discount the value of a goal-based financial plan, and that's what this stuff is intended to do. These financial planning must-haves are all part of a goal-based financial plan, some things you should be looking at on a consistent basis to stay on top of your finances. Like I mentioned, it's not a one-time event. You got to look at this stuff on a consistent basis and keep up with it to make sure your plan meets your changing life, your changing goals. Okay, so that's the key, right? So if you have a financial plan, you're going to give yourself that opportunity to see more success than if you didn't have a plan and you're just kind of winging it, right? So if you found some value here, would love if you give us a like and a subscribe and maybe share with a friend or colleague, and we'll see you next time.